That's the thing that hurts about trying to be of service to a world of ungrateful pieces of shit. What's written on those Georgia guidestones, it's well-deserved. And all of you guys who are still like, oh, I like Jeff C., then you're fucking losers too. That guy was a scumbag piece of shit, and the world's better off that he's gone. Who cares that he died? He deserved to have an aneurysm. Peace out. Will's admitted to being gay. I think him and Yeah Right have a romantic relationship. Back in the 90s when people could actually rap, that was at the same time where you didn't want to be a fag like you. Oh, you're too angry. That's why I don't watch your channel. Yeah, exactly. You're that FAG. You're that FAG for all the losers and wannabes and frauds and posers and people who don't know up from down and think somebody like me's a shill. Just fuck off. Again, everybody who's ever gone against me, you're part of the tyranny.
Welcome back, truth seeker. Again, over the years, I've just always had new people coming out of the woodwork, uploading videos about me, making major accusations and allegations that are always just totally false and baseless.
Sure, Dan.
And case in point, if you don't recognize these faces, if you don't know the guy on the right, this guy has been trolling me day and night, like at all hours of the day. It doesn't even seem like it'd be one person. But he's proud to troll me 24/7, 365, and that's not an exaggeration. It's like his job is to sit around and record everything I do and cut up and chop up a video and try to slander me like a politician, right? Like cutting out segments of videos and only showing certain segments to create an idea that's totally false and unbalanced.
Is it though?
See, so what Will did is Will watch. So the guy on the right, Will watches his cut up videos. Well, it's funny that you go out and attack politicians when you watch this guy who's like a total politician. He just chops up every video and makes it totally dishonest, which is why you're on there, you're blurting out things that are blatantly 1,000,000% false. You said how many times in your video, Will, did you say, Zach got the last 2 Super Bowls wrong? That's completely false, Will. In the last Super Bowl, we liked the Chiefs for a lot of reasons.
I still do feel that picking the winner of this game is dangerous.
We like the underdog Chiefs.
Sure you did.
We had Travis Kelce with pretty much the guaranteed touchdown, and we hit on 2 other player props. The only player prop, the only thing we missed in the Super Bowl was I thought Jalen Hurts would have 2 passing touchdowns, and he didn't.
Oh, really? Flashback.
So prop bets that we did well on. Mahomes for 3 touchdowns, hit it. Jalen Hurts for 2 touchdowns, hit it. For the record, prop bet that we missed was Mahomes could have got his 57th career interception in Super Bowl 57. That one didn't hit, but
Laughing out loud in February, he was saying he got the Hurts touchdown prop correct, and that the only prop he missed on was Mahomes not throwing an interception. Now he's saying he got the Hurts prop wrong, but that it was the only one he got wrong. This guy can't even keep his lies straight.
So we had a whole long list of things right, with good value, and one thing wrong. And not to mention, you said I got the last 2 wrong, which is also false, Will, because we did a series of live streams for the Super Bowl, and my final opinion was it's going to be a 3-point game, and the Bengals lost by 3, covering the spread. So our final opinions about that game were overall major winners. But
you see, this is why this guy's a fraud. You see, everybody in this entire world knows he had the Bengals to win the Super Bowl, and this is what he does. It's really hard for him to admit that he's wrong. This is what I'm saying. This guy's a liar. If you have a brain and you're not one of his cocksuckers, you'll see through it.
You're watching a troll who's putting up these cutout videos that are bullshit, and you're making that your opinion about my work. Again, there was a reason why in February of 2016 we saw how Donald Trump could be the winner of the 58th election before anyone thought it was possible. You gotta be fucking kidding me.
I've been saying that Hillary, everything's set up for her. Really, I've been saying Hillary's the next president since 2008 when her and Barack Obama disappeared off to the Bilderberg meeting.
I've been saying for more than a year, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are nothing more than puppets for these Zionist Jews. Donald Trump is running as a stooge to make Hillary passable. Nobody in this country wants Hillary, supports Hillary. She's going to be the president. And when she's the president, people will say, well, they must have voted because they really didn't want Donald Trump. What would be unprecedented, would be a first, is the first female president, Hillary Clinton. And all along, to me, it seemed like Donald Trump is running to be the stooge. Perhaps in the end, I'll be proven wrong. Perhaps I'm reading the numbers backwards. The headline this morning, running out of time, talking about how Donald Trump is on his way to losing this presidential election, something I've been telling people for more than a year was going to happen. Donald Trump is running as the stooge to make Hillary Clinton passable, a candidate that no one really cares for. But when she's elected president, what many people will say is, well, at least it's not Donald Trump.
Again, there was a reason why in February of 2016 we saw how Donald Trump could be the winner of the 58th election before anyone thought it was possible.
Lies! It's like you have to lie to live. You're a liabetic. You have liabetes. Twice a day you have to take a shot of insulin.
I think Will's one of two things. Ungrateful hater or just a retarded ass motherfucker. I don't like to be mean to people either.
If you say you can wipe your ass with Nostradamus, why do you need Patreon if your predictions can win money?
Yeah, fair words. Fair words. The best answer I have to that question, I don't want to reveal everything about my own personal private life. Not to mention I live in a state where sports gambling is mostly all but illegal.
Do you disavow your racist comments?
What racist comments?
Willie D, Major Shill. You know, if you're subscribed to this guy, tell him however you want to put it, but this guy's a motherfucking coon.
What you said the C word referring to African Americans. You called black people monkeys multiple times. You said this is why people...
Hold on, multiple times?
Multiple times. You've also...
So hold on. So, all right, if multiple times, that means multiple people. So who? Hold on, you said you knew why they called people monkeys, so who do I call monkeys? Tell me.
This is what your boy Gematria Effect said. When I had this lying monkey, he's talking about RFG Chosen One, a black guy. When I had this lying monkey on my radio show, I tried to be nice to him. That was my mistake. I should have exposed him for the circus creature he is. Just a dumb lying idiot, period.
So you did say it, and did you...
But that's not calling black people monkeys. That's just someone I was just so agitated with.
Excuses.
Why is the N-word always at the tip of your tongue? You
I never said it's always on the tip of my tongue.
I got to admit, man, all of us have a racist side in us. Man, when I get an ignorant black person that goes off on me, I'll tell you what, there must be something in my programming too, because I am always on the verge of that word. I didn't call it the M-word, but I'm telling you, man, it was on the tip of my tongue.
Hey, when I get really, like I said in that video where that's from, I was making the point about programming and how we get programmed with these things in us that can come out when we're angry. So that was like using myself as the lesson because I'm a human being like other people. Hey, Will, when you're angry, do you say things that maybe you wouldn't say if you weren't angry? Again, you're just making excuses. Don't you think it's shameful to go on YouTube and say Zach's a racist, Zach calls black people monkeys? I mean, is that an accurate statement?
It's accurate.
All right, let's change the frame. Forget the debate.
No. That's what I'm asking about your accusation in the videos you've been making. So that's a fair thing to say that Zach calls black people monkeys.
Well, you did.
You always make fun of me because, hey, Will lives with mom, which I don't. But if I did, I think that's cool. I think it's cool for family to be together. And, you know, you're actually a person who says terrible, horrible things and wishes your mother would die.
She's just a wretched human being. And, you know, I felt this way about my mom since I was a child, you know. I used to wonder some nights if, like, she might drive off the road and never come back again and maybe life might be better. Again, I mean, sadly, it's sad to say that about your own mother, but it's true. I mean, life would be better for the people on Earth if my mom wasn't breathing. They say the good die young. I worry my mom's going to live to be 200. What I said is when I said is as sad as it is to say, when my mom dies, the world will be better off.
You are a sick individual.
Again, because you guys aren't smart enough to see through how these guys likely are part of the intelligence agencies.
Acetone people lather themselves with. And then you can protect your head from the sun so you don't get...
See how fast I did that? Folks, I'm an expert. Every day when I leave work, I do this.
How much do you make a month on Patreon?
Not enough.
You bought another more money. You're full of shit. My first question was, how much is your Patreon? How much you get on a Patreon? I think you should show that. But you said not enough. So my next question is...
Here's the reason I don't show it. Because as soon as I set up the Patreon, I had all these people attacking me out of the woodwork, making videos that people are supporting me on Patreon. I had a guy in Israel literally making videos every day, calling on everyone to tear down the Patreon. So again, Will, there's a reason my Patreon was all totally transparent at the beginning. Not a lot has changed.
Not a lot has changed, laughing out loud, except that he hid the amount coming in on Patreon and pretends he doesn't make $15,000 to $20,000 plus a month.
Again, I had people attacking me all over. Will, you're asking me to do things that there's a reason I don't do things. There's a reason I'm as transparent as I am about the things that I'm transparent about.
Because if he showed the amount coming in, people would see that he's full of shit. He's likely made somewhere between $1 million to $1.5 million from Patreon over the years, and yet pretty much none of it was used for its intended purposes.
I'll tell you what, though, if this per month thing gets up to something like $10,000 a month, I'll hire a couple people. Then I can afford to have some employees. I'll hire Jonathan,
Right now, there's 10,787 coming in a month. That's more than I need for myself. That's why I'm paying $1,000 a month for a website. That's why I'm saving the rest of the money for a future cause, like getting a building and renovating it and being able to have the resources to put in the furniture that we can have to set up a, geometry effect news studio. This money is for the cause. If this money goes up to $30,000, I'm telling you guys, it's going to happen overnight. We're going to have the building. We're going to have people hired. It's going to make a huge difference. We can do a lot with $30,000 a month, but I am saying we hit $30,000, things will happen. Things will happen, and they'll happen fast, and you'll see it. I'm transparent. Straight Jew. And there's nothing anti-Semitic about that either, because that's just a fucking fact. That's why they call it getting Jewed. Well, is there anybody else in this community that puts up $1,000 a month to run a social media network for truth seekers to help them organize and network? And I don't see people going out and standing outside of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation in the opening days of the COVID pandemic, giving out $2,500 worth of hoodies.
You want a cookie? I mean, seriously.
Think about it. He's going back in time. 2015, I did this. 2016, I did that.
What I would do if I were you is I'd be transparent with your Patreon holders, and I would say, look, this is...
Well, I don't care about your advice on what you would do, because you're not me and you haven't accomplished anything and you don't have a legion of haters and just people that always want to talk shit about you. Like you're an example of, Will. The way I see it is you're way beneath me, okay? Ego! And people will say I'm arrogant for that, but I don't care. I don't care what people think about that. You're way beneath me.
I really don't care if you think that you're above me or better than me. I think all human beings on this...
Anyone with a brain knows it's true. Later, loser. Again, some people cannot handle criticism. Again, I know people don't like my attitude, but I also don't like the world. The world's full of soft cupcakes who can't see shit for shit, can't see through an obvious fraud. It's
Like yourself.
a fucking joke. I've dealt with a lot of harassment for 10 years. I have weirdos around me all the time. A year ago, when I made the prediction that was dead on for Israel this year, remember the one girl, the one openly Jewish girl that was in the community who seemed pretty cool? She flipped on me at like the same time as that prediction. Then, yeah, right, the Matrix started making videos about all that drama. Then next year, the Israel thing lands, and then he's creating all this drama, flipping out of nowhere, just like how she did. Again, she just went out against me full bar, like pretty much out of nowhere. Again, I just feel like, again, these people have been sent here.
Again, you just listen to it. It's like mental illness.
Again, the reason people are on the Patreon is because we've helped them earn and get on a new level of knowledge consistently for the whole time we've been here. And sure, might have done a lot better years past, but we still do well. Again, me not revealing all of the financial is because I know that it brings haters that work overtime to slander even more. I just explained that to you. I said I had a guy in Israel making videos every day calling for my Patreon to be taken down. Again, you're just making excuses. Sweet lady was like, just stop showing because it's just making these people crazy. She's like, God, people care that much? You don't even have that much money.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
She was like mad at the time and wanted me to find something else to do. She's like, people don't support your work enough. I mean, to me, that's a joke right there. That's a joke. I don't even want to hear that. It's just like, oh my God. Oh my God.
Keep in mind he didn't hide the Patreon amount until he was around $11,000 a month, and she was complaining about that. Both of these people are greedy cocksuckers.
It's not much better from when it was then. Back then, we got a lot of better exposure and more views and brought in new people. She knows how much I make, and it's not nearly enough.
You're full of shit.
Again, these people have no problem slandering and just telling a whole bunch of lies and falsities.
Isn't that what you usually do?
Yeah, it's just annoying, you guys. It's annoying having to deal with all this bullshit over all these years.
Oh, but baby.
And I get tired of frauds calling me a fraud.
If the shoe fits.
And it's sad that anybody would ever volunteer to be in this military. The only reason they'd ever do that is because they sold their soul, or because they're so ignorant, or because they're so desperate. But yeah, it's no excuse. If you signed up for the U.S. military, you're a bad person. You are a bad person if you ever join the U.S. military. It makes you a bad human being. For the person who writes, no one is worse for humanity than me, you must be a very backwards human being. The only people who ever say I'm bad are actually evil people. Evil people think I'm bad.
Sure, Jan.
Again, for the person that, anyone who comes to my chat and talks shit, you guys are just scumbags. You guys are like literally human pieces of shit. What are you hating on? What are you hating on? A decade of being correct? I don't know anyone in the history of the truth community who's accomplished what we've accomplished. It's just their ego. They're all about their ego. Show me who has a better resume. For anyone who'd ever say that Jordan Maxwell's works better, I'd say, how? How? We did what he couldn't do, and in a lot better fashion. Ego! And the thing is, Itachi's a smart guy. He went to NYU, right? I resonate with intelligent people. America's a nation of really dumb people that think they're smart.
Ironic.
He's not honorable. He lies constantly. You know, he lies constantly, switches words, changes things around. And this is why he doesn't like channels like Sports Gematria, right? He's just showing the contradictions. Why do you attack Rambo? Well, you know why. Because Rambo had all this knowledge and didn't use Gematria. Rambo had a whole nother side of knowledge that was unfucking real. Zach didn't even say nothing with it because he can't relate to that knowledge. People were like, Rambo has way more knowledge than Zach. He didn't like that.
For the guy with the dreads who doesn't smoke weed and who rants against how bad weed is but has never smoked weed in his life, why do you have dreads? Like, seriously, the Rastas want their hair back. You know what this idiot was on talking about this morning? That same guy who's been shitting on Rambo for a long time, saying Rambo had effeminate energy and Rambo was boring and Rambo was caught up in the liberal energy and he was weak.
I thought you said that.
Again, Rambo represents, honestly, you guys, what's wrong with the world. He represents the demasculated society, the effeminate society.
The views always go up when Rambo gets off because I get the same complaints every week. You can't please everyone, but every week I'm hearing people, Rambo's really boring. He's really redundant. It sounds like he's reading a script. He keeps talking about the same things over and over. I mean, it is true.
Rambo's another Karen in the world. What a soft marshmallow man. Stick to some astrology readings in the kitchen, right up there with the other beta male Rambo.
This guy's been talking all this shit about Rambo for 6 months.
What is this, 1984's George Orwell?
And then this morning he's all on there on Rambo's nuts and how Rambo's the good guy and how I ran away Rambo.
Yeah, fair words. Fair words.
In his same stream, he was talking about how spiritual he is and how I'm not. You're not spiritual. You're a fraudulent human being.
We're coming up on one of the best lines I've ever heard in all of the world of comedy. Here we go.
You'll get on and lie to save your own ass. You don't ever see me getting on here and lying. You don't ever see me getting on here and lying.
A few moments later.
And did I not put out the video for everybody? August 24th, 2022, about how you better have your future in for the Chiefs when Len Dawson died? NFL. Again, we've been covering the big narratives this offseason where the top shooting fits in with everything with the Bills. Recently, we just had the death of Len Dawson 24 days before Mahomes' birthday on the 24th when he won the Super Bowl at age 24, did Mahomes, the only Chiefs QB to win it since Dawson. Remember, Kansas City Chiefs equals 172, and Len Dawson did die 172 days before the Super Bowl. If you guys have me wondering if that's questioning how much I like the Bills and the AFC to be in the Super Bowl, I'll say a tiny bit. There's just a part of me that's going, though, they can't do this, man, even though they know that the NFL fans are totally asleep. And I mean, it just seems like it would be too much in your face to have these guys doing State Farm commercials all year and then State Farm commercials going during the Super Bowl while they're playing in State Farm Arena. Right now, for the NFL, again, I still am favoring the Bills in the AFC.
And did I not put out the video for everybody? August 24th, 2022, about how you better have your future in for the Chiefs when Len Dawson died?
Liar. Liar. Deceiver. Liar.
Yeah, that's the thing that hurts about trying to be of service to a world of ungrateful pieces of shit. It's like you'll question yourself, like, why am I even trying to help out these scumbags? These people fucking suck. Like, they don't deserve shit. They deserve what's on the Georgia Guidestones. People get mad that I say that, but I mean that too. What's written on those Georgia Guidestones, it's well-deserved. Wouldn't wish death on anybody, but most people just deserve to be just gone. Almost everybody else, I wish I could drop the bomb on them, to be perfectly honest. So, and by the way, for the fake guy, drives around in his cars, the Rastas do want their hair back. There shouldn't be some poser loser dude with dreads who spends all of his time talking about how bad weed is. You're an ignorant man. Weed's not bad. You're a bad human being. You're a fraudulent human being. You're a piece of shit, dude. You are a piece of shit human being.
Ironic.
If you have no purpose in this world, I think suicide is a great option. Stop wasting the world's resources. We see the power structures getting rid of people for this exact reason. Help solve the problem by getting rid of yourself. You're a piece of shit, dude. You are a piece of shit human being. I'd give you the same recommendation. Suicide, loser. Suicide. You're a piece of shit, dude. You are a piece of shit human being. Razor blades in the bathtub. That's the solution for you. You're a piece of shit, dude. You are a piece of shit human being. And I'm not wrong to say people should go jump in a bathtub and get out the fucking razor blades. Fucking die, you fucking shit. You're a piece of shit, dude. You are a piece of shit human being.
You know, we're going to talk about dreads because this racist, motherfucker wants to say, talk about people's appearances, because they're not of his. What if I had straight hair? And, what would he talk about then? If I had straight hair, maybe lighter skin. Now, what would he say then? I know what he's going at. I know the energy in his voice. He wants to call me a fucking nigger with dreads. I know that. I know it, Zach, because what? It's always on the tip of his tongue.
Man, when I get an ignorant black person that goes off on me, I'll tell you what, there must be something in my programming too, because I am always on the verge of that word. I didn't call it the M-word, but I'm telling you, man, it was on the tip of my tongue.
Shout out to Sports Gematria, which he's not a fucking troll. He's just showing Zach how he is. He's just showing Zach how he is.
Something weird's going on with his children too, because they don't have any personality. They don't say a peep. They're just totally dead silent. It's like, are they getting abused? This man on the phone, I respect. He is a good man. He's raised awesome children. I wonder if he beats his children. He's raised awesome children. I know it's going to piss him off, but I do wonder. Because it's just like, it's not natural. It's not natural to have your kids just like following you around at your side when they're 18, 19 and not saying a word. And then I noticed when we ate at the restaurant, none of your kids sat at the same table with you. They all went to a different table. I thought that was weird. I was like, Like, why is the kids at a different table?
Why are they so quiet? He must have beat his kids. I never had to hit my kids. They have respect. You even said it. Bitch. Anybody that's been around my kids know how respectful they are. Fuck out of here. You didn't even sit them at with a table. But got fucking pictures with them sitting at a table. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, that Matthew Kahn's like some weirdo crackhead. That was another guy that never belonged here. One of the nastiest videos ever made about me was made by somebody named Jeff C. Do you know who Jeff C is?
No, but I've heard that name.
He's dead. He died. He died a couple of years ago, and people got mad at me because I said good riddance. They said, "Oh, you're a heartless bastard." I said, "Well, who cares if he died? The guy's a fucking loser. He's another shill scammer."
Like yourself.
So when that guy died, I still say the same thing. Who gives a shit that he died? One less fucking loser in the world. And for all you guys who are sore about that, I don't give a fuck. So fuck him. And all of you guys who are still like, "Oh, I like Jeff C," then you're fucking losers too. That guy was a scumbag piece of shit, and the world's better off that he's gone. Who cares that he died? He deserved to have an aneurysm. Peace out.
What the fuck?
I mean, that's a sick fucking human being. And by the way, that Lil Willie, I actually, like, this doesn't mean to be slander, but we know Lil Willie's gay. Will's admitted to being gay. I think him and Yeah Right have a romantic relationship. He's just, he's just talking shit. Lil Willie just made the comment. He's like, Zach uses the 3-letter F word against gay people. It's like, dude, I thought you like hip hop music. Back in the 90s when people could actually rap, that was at the same time where you didn't want to be a fag like you. I don't care if you're gay and you like getting plugged in your ass. I'm never going to give you a hard time about that. I won't discriminate.
So obvious a word like fag, is like calling somebody a nigger now.
Oh, you're too angry. That's why I don't watch your channel. Yeah, exactly. You're that FAG. You're that FAG. I don't like to be mean to people either. For all the losers and wannabes and frauds and posers and people who don't know up from down and think somebody like me's a shill, just fuck off. And shut the fuck up and remain irrelevant and continue to do the work of the tyrants, because that's what side you're on.
Sure, Jan.
Again, everybody who's ever gone against me, you're part of the tyranny.
That's your wrong opinion. That's fine.
I do think some people in society are born gay. I mean, I still don't know about I'm not going to say what I'm going to say, but there's somebody whose life I'm watching. I've got to watch it from the time it was born. And now they're getting into their mid-20s. And while the younger siblings have all had like some kind of romantic partner or relationship, still none for them that we're known about. But I've always had a feeling about this one that they've seemed pretty effeminate since they were about 2 years old.
Why do you have to make a live stream and put this out there? It's almost like he's doing it for entertainment purposes.
The guy who I say the Rastas are calling and they want their hair back.
Like I've said, you guys, all of my trolls and critics and weirdos, they all seem to be really dumb people. But somehow this guy, he's got a house in Florida and Texas and New York.
Zach, you're pocket watching.
Like, what the fuck? He's got all these luxury cars. Why are you pocket watching? Retarded as fuck. Is it like, does it pay this well to be a Fed informant?
Oh, brother.
Why does Yeah Right the Matrix have dreadlocks if he don't smoke marijuana and he should give it back to the Rastas? I know what you're saying, Zach. Hey, you fucking nigger, why don't you give your goddamn dreadlocks back to the Rastas? What he doesn't know about my dreadlocks, they're called freeform. That means I didn't do anything. They form on their own.
The guy I'm talking about, he's streaming this morning, and he literally had the guy in his stream bragging about how he ripped me off at lunch years ago. I was just like, he's bragging about it all these years. I told you that story. I never had anybody do it to me. He just kept ordering everything on the menu, racked up the hugest tab. Appetizer, 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 dish, another dish, drink, another drink, milkshake, dessert.
Bon Appetit.
He's in the one guy's chat today bragging about ripping me off at lunch. The gentleman in Ireland who would call in for a while, and he started attacking me in recent months because of Itachi. And it's just like, this is crazy. Like, and I didn't ask for Itachi. Itachi is kind of weird. He condemns people for going to sports games, and then he's bragging about being at the sports game and having connections, and then he's talking about how bad the system is, but then he's playing like all the music of all the rappers that are connected to the sacrifice we're decoding. Again, the most dedicated people in my life are the people who are always trying to tear me down and trash me.
Gee, I wonder why.
His partner's making a video about how I'm a gaslighter. Yeah, fair words. Fair words. The definition of a gaslighter is somebody who says things to essentially provoke somebody. And have I done that to people? Yeah, so I guess I could say at times I've gaslit people. But have I ever done that unprovoked? The answer to that question is no. Either you're totally dishonest or you're psychotic. I'll throw some... And the thing is, the things I throw back that'll provoke, they're also based in something. Like, people think it's mean that I picked on Derek and his sexuality. Poor guy couldn't get up for it. You know what I mean? He's just, he's just talking shit. But then his last line is, you're jealous because I actually do things and you sit behind a calculator calling for violence. Can you guys think of an example of me calling for violence? Or
Every fucker in the stands deserves to be shot. Literally. I don't mean that as a joke. I mean literally.
Can you guys think of an example of me calling for violence? Or
it's time to put an end to the you-know-whos. There's one of them on the left of the TV screen. All these Jews on TV. We got to wake up.
Can you guys think of an example of me calling for violence? Or if all
you can do is get up and harass that person every day, I think you should kill yourself. In fact, not only do I think that, I think it would be right if somebody found out where you were, doxed you, and killed your ass. I think that would be more than deserved.
Can you guys think of an example of me calling for violence? Or
if I showed up at YouTube's headquarters like I did in April, but this time I came with a machine gun or like a big Gatling gun like it was Grand Theft Auto, and I just started laying out everybody there and every little fake fucking foreign security guard they got there and all the police posted up across the street guarding the place. But if I went there and just started laying out everybody, just fucking like I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator, and then I whip through the doors, you just start smoking everybody in the hall, I don't think there'd be anything wrong with any of that.
can you guys think of an example of me calling for violence? Or
I mean, literally, these people need a bullet in their head. They really do. Bullet in the fucking head is what these people need.
can you guys think of an example of me calling for violence? Or
people are fucking retarded and they need to be cleansed from the earth.
Or is it more like what I wrote back to him? I said, can you show him some videos where I call for violence? It's like, what is this? One time my mom got mad at Sweet Lady for no reason, and then like said she's probably some Asian prostitute over here just
what the fuck
to steal my son away from her. And I was just like, oh my God, Mom, she's like the furthest thing from that. So yeah, there's a reason that I make the points that I make about my mom. Not accountable, hates on everybody.
Sounds like someone else I know.
The first degree or tenet of Satanism is to fulfill yourself, your ego. Donald Trump, ultimate egomaniac.
Ironic.
There's never been anyone more right who's walked on the face of this fucking earth than yours truly. The first degree or tenet of Satanism is to fulfill yourself, your ego. Donald Trump, ultimate egomaniac.
Every last person in this world should be grateful for my existence. And you're making videos with these bullshit calculations about how much money you look how much money you would have lost if you went with Zach's picks last week.
First time I ever did a price hike, but to me, you know, even if it's still a bargain rate. I mean, if you look into how much work I put in each month and how much decoding it is, I mean, you're getting a killer deal at both prices.
Let's try again.
It's 35 Thursday, and the best 35 on the board is Joe Burrow getting his 35th career win tonight is a 3.5-point dog. And if that doesn't make you comfortable, again, 35 Thursday is what we always look for. The Bengals are a team you could take with the points tonight. They're a 3.5-point dog. If they lost by a field goal, they'd still win the bet. But they do have a narrative to upset definitely through 35 Thursday. Joe Burrow, again, can get his 35th career win. Highest winning percentage of anything is 35 Thursday in the NFL as we now know it. As I wrote for the scales, Joe Burrow can get his 35th win to keep the AFC North competitive. Thursday equals 35, and the number 35 is the king on Thursday Night Football when it is on the board. If the Bengals win, home teams will stay on 83 wins for the year. Ravens equals 83. If the Ravens lose, it will be their 75th home loss all time. Cincinnati Bengals 75. The Bengals are also a team you can take with the points. But the values on the Bengals side, the 35 Thursdays there. And again, you want to play it extra safe tonight? You can take the Bengals with the points.
How about shut the fuck up, morons? I'm not wrong about anything.
Highest winning percentage of anything is 35 Thursday.
He's a bullshitter. He's a scammer. And
Steelers at Browns. Here's the scales the way I see it in this game. Mike Tomlin, if he loses this game, he'll stay on 169 regular season wins. Cleveland Browns is 169. Pickett can fall to 5-5 away in Week 11. Again, 11's the fifth prime. And Brown can improve to 5-1 at home for the year. Stefanski, again, will get his 33rd win against the Steelers, established in 33, and do it in Cleveland, which equals 33.
And the Steelers again can pick up the 42nd all-time loss in the division on the day leaving 42 days left in the year. I do see more on the Browns side here. Next game, Bears at Lions. Again, that 3-1-3 can play in the Lions' favor. In Detroit, the 3-1-3 area code, they're a heavy favorite. But yeah, if Fields loses, he'll be 3-13 away in the 3-1-3 area code. Bears would also get the 42nd road loss in the division on the day leaving 42 days in the year. And in Detroit on the 42nd parallel north. Bears loss would also send them 3-8 into Minnesota, where Minnesota's 38. So yeah, the area code thing really is what jumps out to me the most. But Chargers and Packers. This game is 211 weeks after the last meeting of teams. And if the Chargers do lose, they'll fall to 2-11 versus the Packers. And both teams would be 4-6, where Lambeau Field's 46 and the most pure. If the Packers do win, again, Chargers become 2-11 versus the Packers, 211 weeks after the last meeting, meaning the Packers would get their 11th win in Week 11. Yeah, Herbert can also get his 31st loss in Week 11. 31's the 11th prime. Love can get to 4-7. Chargers equals 47. Matt LaFleur can get his 53rd all-time win. Los Angeles 53. The Raiders and Dolphins. If the Raiders won this game, they'd get their 142nd road win versus the AFC, and Miami Dolphins is 142 in the most simple cipher. The Raiders, again, another way to play the Raiders is just to cover in case they don't win, but win by, or lose by less than 12. I saw that if the Raiders lost by 10, they would cover the spread, and they'd be negative 43 for the year. Dolphins is 43, football's 43, Florida's 43. If they lost by 9, which would also cover the spread, they'd be negative 42 for the year on the day leaving 42 days. I can see more narratives to cover than not. And again, not a bad narrative to upset, because Raiders can get the 142nd road win versus the AFC, and Miami Dolphins is 142. That's why it's probably a little bit smarter to take the Raiders with the points. Again, just more ways to win. The Cardinals and Texans. Kyler Murray, he could stay on 31 regular season losses, the 11th prime in Week 11 in the 31 city Houston. But if Murray does win, Stroud would fall to 5-5, 11 the 5th prime number. The Cardinals can get their 79th win versus the AFC and 34th road win, where Texans is 79-34. So, and if Cardinals did win on the day leaving 42 days left in the year, Arizona's 42, and they would get to 4-2 versus the Texans. Cardinals are a dog. They're a team you can take with the points. If they lost by a field goal, you'd be good.
I mean, I've been absolutely correct about everything I came with. And for every troll who tried to take a clip of that and then show things I've been wrong about, you're a moron. I've been right about everything. Hubbard claims that his success rate is higher than anyone else's. Yeah, it is. Facts.
Again, Bucks and 49ers, right where we started. John Lynch, who connects both teams. It's 55 days after his birthday. If the Bucks upset, they are 5-5. Again, it's Week 11. 11's the 5th prime. 49ers has Gematria 55. And Brock Purdy can fall to 6-2 at home. Tampa Bay Buccaneers 62 and Buccaneers 62. And Mayfield can also get that 37th win on 37 date numerology. So I see several reasons to think the Bucks could upset. Another team you could take with the points if you want to play it extra safe.
I've been predicting the future for over 9 years straight accurately. I get annoyed when people are like, your predictions are nowhere near Nostradamus. You know what, you guys? This is not a false statement. I could wipe my ass with the name Nostradamus. Literally. Literally.
The Bills and the Jets. The Bills can get the 37th home win in the series on 37-date numerology. Zach Wilson could stay on 11 all-time wins and get his 11th road loss. We got the Battle of New York, the 11th state in Week 11. Allen can get his 33rd home win and stay on 33 losses. New York also equals 33. Bills can also pick up the 5th home win in Week 11. If the Bills did win, they'd be 6-5 before playing Philadelphia, where 65 pops up a lot. The Seahawks and the Rams. Geno Smith, he can get that 15th all-time loss. And Stafford, he could get his 107th career loss, where Seattle's 107, but he could also get his 19th regular season win with the Rams, where Seattle's 19, and that's the better Seattle number by quite a distance. I feel like at the end of the day, though, it looks a bit better for the Rams. Like the Geno Smith 15th loss, Rams 15 in the most pure, and the Stafford 19th win, Seattle 19 in the most pure, plus the 19 date numerology. So I think it looks a little bit better for the Rams. And then the Eagles and Chiefs. But what really does stand out to me is Mahomes is 7-1 on Monday Night Football. And it's Biden's 81st birthday. And again, President Biden's 81 and Ritual's 81. And he could beat the Eagles just like he did in the Super Bowl and become 8-1 on Monday night. All right, here, just to read the scales the way I saw it. Chiefs can get the 65th regular season home win, Philadelphia 65 over the NFC, and the 113th all-time win over the NFC, Eagles 113. Recall last year Mahomes became 11-3 in the playoffs, beating the Eagles in the Super Bowl. The Eagles can also stay on 112 wins versus the AFC in the regular season. Chiefs equals 112 and Super Bowl equals 112. If that happens, Mahomes will become 8-1 on Monday Night Football on Biden's 81st birthday. President Biden 81 versus the Eagles, who come in 8-1. Mahomes will also get his 22nd win in primetime, Eagles 22, while Hurts stays on 11 wins in week 11, 11 and 22 master numbers. The Chiefs would also become 6-4 versus the Eagles in the regular season. Kansas City Chiefs 64, Joe Biden 64. Reed can also get his 137th win with the Chiefs, 33rd prime, MNF 33. A KC win would make home teams 12-2 for the week. Kansas City 122, and if Andy Reid wins, he passes. We just said he sets the record for both teams.
I'm right about everything.
Don't spend it all in one place.
The 49ers and Seahawks, again, like I said, I come into Thanksgiving in recent years looking for the 66 because it's been playing well. And again, the only one on the board for tomorrow is the 49ers. Shanahan can get the 66th win and again his 60th regular season win, both connecting with the gematria Thanksgiving, 60 and 66. So that really does stand out to me here. If the Seahawks were to lose, they would fall to 6-5. San Francisco 49ers is 65. And the last time they played was 313 days ago, the 65th prime number. Geno Smith can fall to 28-34 and get his 15th home loss. 28, 34, and 15 all correspond with the gematria 49ers. And again, you look at the quarterbacks, it looks better for the Niners there. Shanahan has the better coaching narrative. And then Black Friday, again, it stood out that ESPN mentioned how the last time New York played on a Friday was in '83, as the Dolphins have a chance to become 8-3. And Black Friday equals 47 in the most pure. If the Jets lose, they're 4-7. It was the Dolphins who also beat the Jets in '83, and now they can get to 8-3. '83 is the 23rd prime. Game's on the 23rd. So yeah, the Black Friday thing, the 47 in that. And historically, I've seen 47 rituals in the news on Black Friday, so I'm going to make the assumption here with the first Black Friday football game that that's what it is. NFL Week 12, at least the rest of it, starts tomorrow, and we're going to go over that right now. I think it's going to be another good week.
I'm going to hold you to that.
The Panthers and the Titans, I wonder if the Panthers could pull out an upset here. Again, the Panthers do like the number 38. They lost in Super Bowl 38. They lost to the Broncos. The 38 stayed on the 38th day there in Super Bowl 50. Last year, the Broncos fell to 3-8 versus the Panthers. This year, the Titans could fall to 3-8 versus the Panthers. Panthers equals 38 in the most pure. Vrabel, he could stay on 53 all-time wins against Carolina, which equals 53. The Titans' next loss versus the NFC is 101. Panthers is 101 in the most simple. Titans are on 53 home wins versus the NFC, but they could stay on 53 home wins versus the NFC, Carolina 53. So yeah, I think the Panthers have a chance at an upset here. So yeah, if you did play the Panthers game, I mean, it might not be a bad idea to take them with the points. They are the Panthers.
You know how much money I've pulled out of the casino's pockets? I guarantee you it's in the hundreds of millions of dollars.
The Bucks and the Colts. This is Mayfield's 80th game on 80 date numerology. If he won, he'd get his 37th all-time win, the 12th prime in week 12. He'd also get his 15th all-time road win over the Colts, who historically like 15. Bulls can also stay on 15 losses with Tampa again against the Colts, who historically like 15. If the Bucks did win, they'd get their 69th win versus the AFC. That's Colts equals 69 in the most simple. But yeah, the Colts can also fall to 1-5 at home, a bit like 15. So yeah, you weigh the scales, you got the 15s in a Tampa Bay upset narrative. But Mayfield can get the 15th road win and drop the Colts to 1-5 at home, and Bulls would stay on 15 losses with the team when Colts equals 15.
Another wrong prediction.
People want to focus on the things where I've been wrong, you know? Why?
Okay, Jaguars and Texans. If Lawrence wins, he'd get his 20th regular season win. Texans is 20. The Jags can also improve to 8-3 and get their 79th regular season road win and 83rd all-time road wins. Texans equals 83 and 79, so they'd hit that 83 and 79 against pretty much the perfect team. The only other team that has 83 and 79 like that is the Ravens. Texans and Ravens got that 83-79. So if the Jags win, it makes sense with the franchise, makes sense for Lawrence's record. Again, the Jags would get to 8-3. I think that's the stronger side of the narrative in this one. Okay, Browns and Broncos, another game where the 83 can play. Again, Cleveland Browns is 83, Colorado's 83, football's 83. If the Browns win, not only are they 8-3, they're 3-2 away, and Denver's 32, and so is Broncos. If the Broncos lose, they get their 8th loss versus the Browns. Browns would get their 8th win in the series on 8-date numerology. Russell Wilson, his next home loss is 28. Browns is 28. Russell Wilson's next loss with the Broncos is 17. It's 17-date numerology versus the team from the 17th state. Okay, so yeah, the way again, just the scales in this one, Russell Wilson can pick up the 28th home loss versus the Browns, 28, and 17th loss with Broncos on 17-date numerology versus the team from the 17th state. The Browns can also improve to 8-3 in a week of 83 so far. Colorado equals 83, Cleveland Browns 83. They can also improve to 3-2 away. Denver and Broncos 32. Yeah, I do feel like it looks better for Cleveland.
I'm not a greedy person. I don't say, here, to get my sports picks, you got to pay $500 a month, even though they're worth that. You know, they're worth that.
Okay, the Ravens and Chargers, like we talked about, if the Chargers lost last week, it set up the narrative for them to lose this week to fall to 4-7, where Chargers equals 47, and they do it against the Ravens, who won Super Bowl 47, where the power went out, where they needed a charge. So I'm still looking at this game the same way. Herbert, his numbers can go either way. If he does lose, though, Herbert, he'll fall to 8-8 in primetime on 8-date numerology versus Lamar Jackson, number 8. California equals 88. Maryland equals 88. So Herbert's primetime record with the loss does stand out. Anyhow, yeah, the 4-7 thing, though, and the Charger and blackout in history, that all jumps out to me. And again, Monday Night Football, NFL Week 12, last game of the week. It's been a pretty good week.
Dick-sucking, lying, kike, faggot.
Because there's quite a few things here that look better for the Vikings. The Vikings can get their 67th win over the Bears today. Today is the 331st day of the year, which is the 67th prime number. For the franchise records, the Bears' next loss versus the NFC North is 75. Minnesota Vikings is 75. The Bears can stay on 55 wins versus the NFC North. Minneapolis 55. The Vikings' next all-time win versus the NFC North is 71. Chicago Bears is 71. Yeah, if the Vikings win, they're 7-5. Minnesota Vikings 75. If the Vikings win, they're 3-3 at home. MNF 33. There's always a risk when you gamble, but the narrative does not look too bad there for Minnesota tonight.
You're not me. You're not the person who broke the code. You're not the person who's helped people win for 10 years. I'm sure there's somebody in a casino right now with my picture throwing darts at it. Fuck that guy, cost us a lot of money again this weekend.
And then he's always doing his false math for how much money you would have lost, which is total BS.
Congrats to the winners.
Yeah, we hit the bookie nice.
I think it's going to be another good week.
Another wrong prediction.
You've been going with my picks this season. You've been doing just fine. You did straight bets on every game I like this year. You've hit some big upsets, and you've won a lot. Anybody who says otherwise is a fucking loser and fraud.
Need to retire, and you need to shut it down.
Help people make millions of dollars over years. Those are facts. He's a bullshitter. He's a scammer.
Zachary K, Hubbard is alive. 40K a month, but still no one half. The guy's full of shit like all his mouth. Fuck a charm one.
Till next time, truth seeker.